now, if you would raise your right hand, say your name and repeat after me.
I, Dale Barnett,
Do solemnly pledge myself
do solemnly pledge myself
to perform faithfully and impartially
to perform faithfully and impartially
the duties of the office of National Commander of the American Legion.
the duties of the office of the National Commander of the American Legion.
And I further pledge
And I further pledge
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America
the Constitution of the United States of America
and the National Constitution and bylaws of the American Legion,
and the National Constitution and bylaws of the American Legion.
and that I do not subscribe to
And I do not subscribe to
the principles of any group
the principles of any group
opposed to our form of government.
opposed to our form of government.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Commander, my congratulations. Commander Helm, I believe we have an introduction to make.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2015-2016 National Commander of the American Legion, Dale Barnett.
My wife and I dated in high school. She stayed with me for 4 years during my academy experience. We got married 2 weeks after graduation. She has been a real supporter of the American Legion as a unit president. We're raising three children at this time in the home, so if you see me with a bunch of young kids, they're mine. They're a wonderful family, and they're looking forward to the experience of my year as commander. And it's going to be tough being away from the family for a year, but they've been very understanding about it and very supportive. And I thank my family for giving me the opportunity to serve. I first joined the Legion when I was getting ready to retire out of the military. And the reason I joined the Legion, I wanted to be involved in my community because of my Boy State experience. Didn't have any ideal that it would ever take me the route that it's taken me to this level of leadership in the organization. But I just wanted to join in order for the opportunity to give back to the community. And the American Legion has been so good to me because as a teacher and as a coach, I was able to bring the American Legion to some students that needed the mentorship, that needed the opportunities that I received as a youth growing up in central Indiana. I was able to provide to some of my students here in the greater Atlanta area as far as opportunities, be it the Constitutional Oratorical Contest or the Boy State, Girl State. There were so many opportunities, and I will tell you the American Legion, anytime I needed help for students in need, they were always willing to provide that for me. And I'm so happy about what we do in the American Legion for our children and youth programs, our Americanism programs. I think the American Legion provides a vehicle for all of us to give back to our communities. There's something in some of our programs for somebody, no matter where you're at. You can be in the farthest location, in the remotest location in the United States, or you can be in New York City. But our programs reach out and they touch the lives of young people and older people. And we're a service-oriented organization. We need to remain so. That's what we were built upon with our 4 pillars. And I think we'll continue to be successful in our second century if we stay true to our traditions and our foundational base.
Past national commanders, fellow legionnaires, family and friends, it is quite an honor to be selected to represent the greatest and largest veteran service organization in the world. I want to thank my personal friend and mentor, Past National Commander Jake Comer, we spent many, many days together in the last years doing Legion business. I thank him for the confidence that he has in me to lead this great organization. I want to thank Merv Gunnarsson and Bill Oxford for their seconding of my nomination. And I want to thank PFC Rabine for administering the oath of office. But first, I want to thank my family. I think the video that you just saw says a lot about what I think about family values. My wife and I dated, as the video talked about, since high school. We've been together through wars, through peace, through many, many family difficulties, but we are a family, and what a beautiful family I have. I'd like to introduce my family, if I may, behind me. They were? They're over there. I think you, from right to left, when I call your name, just stand up, and that way I'll think, Desiree, she just learned how to drive, so don't get in her way. Kathleen, who's a 7th grader, and Joseph, who's an SAL and very active in scouting. My wife, Donna, and then my daughter, Michelle, who is an auxiliary member, as well as my wife, and her daughter, Heather, her husband, Ryan, and always closing his eyes is Daniel. He entertained everybody in the front row. But then next to them is a very, very special couple. My sister, Melinda, and her husband, and you notice he's got an Indiana Legionnaire cap on, so we won't hold that against him. They have worked hard for my campaign, and I appreciate them. I also have our Georgia State troopers. What a good-looking crew. We are so proud of them. Earl Prince, Russ Covington, Andy Sigfield, and Tommy Crafton. And they work on the Boy State staff, so same. But I also want to talk my NECmen. I don't know where they went to. Where are they at? Oh, okay, they're out there. I can't see them. Charlie Wessinger and Phil Youngblood, I thank all of them. And our commander this year, Tom Mash, who told me this was going to happen many, many years ago, and I told him he was crazy. So Tom, thanks for trying to convince me this could be a possibility for me. And last year's commander, Randy Goodman, who did so much. But there's 3 people who aren't with us today who would like to be here today. And I know that past National Commander Dave Rabine talked about Bob Turner. And as you know, Bob's wife, Betty, suffered a stroke on August 10th. But Bob's back in Georgia doing what Bob does best, taking care of his wife. And I was in the room when he made a very difficult call for him to national headquarters to say that he couldn't fulfill the duties today. But I guarantee you, Bob, and I know he's listening, we love you, we love Betty, we pray for her recovery, we pray for your strength, and if you would please join me, because I know he's listening out there, a big round of applause for past National Commander Bob Turner and his wife, Betty. Mr. Knox also had to leave. He's been my mentor and supporter over the years to take care of his wife, because that's the right thing to do, to take care of family. And our past NECman, Ray Hendricks, who also is back in Statesboro, Georgia. But they were true leaders that taught me about leadership in the American Legion. Commander Mike Helm, I want to congratulate you and Debbie for an absolute incredible year. What a great commander you've been. Your leadership has been unwavering. My children love him. He's always there with a smile, so active. And I just thank you and Debbie for your mentorship for Donna and I. I've got a group of young men in the front second row. Gentlemen, I want you to stand, please. My classmates from class of 1974, Company H1 at the United States Military Academy. Colonel Bruce Palmatier, Bob Foss, Tom Gandy, Neil Krukar, and Colonel Dave Stinson. Thank you, gentlemen. I want to thank Team Georgia. You've been supportive, so supportive of the campaign, raising money, volunteering for receptions. But I want to especially thank two gentlemen that have done so much for me as campaign managers, Mr. Charlie Tucker, who started the campaign, and Mr. Dewey Moss, and what a great job they've done for me. I've been able to visit 49 out of 50 of the states during my visits. I have learned a lot about the unique challenges of the American Legion across our great nation. I hope that has prepared me and readied me to take on the challenges we have in the future. I want to congratulate my fellow Legion family members for their election this week. National Auxiliary President Sharon Canaster and Sons of American Legion Commander Kevin Collier. Sharon and Kevin and I are truly dedicated to the principles of duty, honor, country. We are working together and planning together to make this the greatest American Legion year that is possible. But I want to get personal with you right now. The American Legion has shaped my life. You've heard some of the words by those gentlemen that nominated me and seconded. But I went to Hoosier Boys State in 1969. It planted seeds for my attendance, and it was only because of the American Legion in Boys State that I think that I was selected to attend the military academy. It led to an opportunity of service, which was such an opportunity. I did put that uniform on with such joy and such honor. And if you have the membership shirt on, and I'm sure most of you have seen it on the sleeve, are those three words: duty, honor, country. If you think about duty, the first lesson of basic training was to know your job and to do it the best you could, because your life depended on it and the life of your buddies. But in the American Legion, people depend on us each and every day to do the right thing, to get them to appointments, to mentor the youth, to help families in need. Honor. It's an honor to wear the military uniform, and I'm sure many of you still have your uniforms, and you're proud to share those stories. But I'm also proud to wear the uniform of the American Legion. It's an honor to be in this organization and to serve alongside you. And I guarantee you, your communities respect what you do, and they understand what you do each and every day that makes their communities a better place. Country. Our country needs us. It's the greatest country on earth. I'm so proud to be an American, but I'm so proud to be standing before you today to say I'm part of the greatest organization that since 1919 has been fighting for the principles that has made this country great. And we will continue to fight for those principles in the next generation. Our country needs us, and we must step forward now. So this year, when you see those words, I want to challenge you. When you see them with your eyes, I want you to live it in your heart, and I want you to execute it with your body and soul. Duty, honor, country. My special project this year is the National Emergency Fund. It has unique meaning to Georgia. Our state was hit by floods in 1994, and it was the NEF that came to the aid to many in Georgia. And we had a past national executive man who every year we had a big banquet that he started before he passed away that raises money for the NEF. We believe the NEF is important in Georgia, and I know those who have been affected by various disasters like Katrina and Sandy and more Oklahoma. We need to continue to support those. I don't know if I can be a $7 million commander, but I do want to set one particular goal, is I would like to see us raise $1 million this year for the NEF because it does so much for so many people. It's been mentioned a couple times, and it's something I'm extremely excited in, our Walk for Veterans. I got to tell you that National Adjutant Wheeler, when I first said that, thought I was a little bit crazy because he said, what in the world would you want to do and try to get some of our older members out there to walk? They have trouble walking to the bathroom. And I said, that's not what it's about. It's about we walk for veterans each and every day in our communities. We help our kids, we mentor our kids, we do things for our community. I want to walk with all the people we touch, and that's a lot of people. That's the kids that go to Boy State, Girl State, the Scout Troop, the JROTC unit, the baseball team. Those are the people we touch. And I want them to invite their parents, their grandparents, people in the church, political figures, and I want you to walk. And I want you to tell your story about why you joined the American Legion and why you stay a member in the American Legion. And I guarantee you, because I've heard many of your stories, that when people in your community walk with you and walk with us and learn about what we're doing, and I want the family to do it, that we're going to see people join this organization, we're going to see goodwill and public relations, and we're going to get the message of the American Legion out to the communities. We have special shirts that Emblem Sales has made. They're very low cost, have a very liberal return policy if you order too many. If you run out, they'll get them to you quick. We want to make this a success, and we already have many planned in Kansas City, Missouri. It's a big one we're going to do at the World War I Memorial. We got one planned next week at the 9/11 observance in New Hampshire. We're going to walk in Texas. We're going to walk in Indiana, hopefully in conjunction with the fall conference, and we're planning those all over the country. If we have any residue funds that are earned in those walks, I request that we give it to the NEF. I would like to transition into some continued concerns that the American Legion has that on your behalf I will continue to champion. First is VA health care. I want each and every one of you to know that I pledged to the VA Secretary, you have pledged to the VA that it is a system worth saving, and we're in it together. And we're going to do everything possible to make the VA healthcare system provide the best health care in the world to our veterans, because they have earned it and they deserve it. We will continue to look at the timeliness of VA claims, appointments, and services, as well as the accuracy of that reporting. I applaud Secretary McDonald for authorizing overtime to address many of these issues. However, we will continue to partner through our network of service officers, volunteers, and town hall meetings to monitor and to work with VA to ensure timely delivery of health care. We will continue to support the further empowerment of the VA management to hold people accountable in the VA system who do not perform and provide that quality health care to our veterans. I know we've heard it this week, and we continue to hear it. And I know there's been a study of alternative medical treatments for TBI and PTSD. The American Legion is on record to ensure that we do everything possible to provide the best treatment and to continue to research with foreign nations, foreign military, sports like the National Football League, to ensure that we are providing the state-of-the-art health care for our TBI and PTSD patients. American Legion wants to build bridges with the VA, and I will guarantee you I will do that, and I will be your spokesman in that area. Got to give a little warning here. I know that I don't have to tell you that it's the presidential campaign season. It's dominating the news, and from time to time you will have to address issues or make statements about particular speeches or a candidate's plan for the VA or the military. Our positions are very easy to access. You voted on the resolutions. You've done your work. You can find them on our websites. We encourage the candidates for all political offices to address these issues, and we hope that you'll insist that the candidates talk about issues that impact veterans. But remember, if you're representing the American Legion, stick to our positions and not the person. We are nonpartisan. We endorse no candidate. And remember, we are about policies, not personalities. Lastly, I'd like to highlight the fact that we're rapidly approaching our 100th birthday. And if you might have noticed in my video, my home post, which I got a couple post members here, was built in 1935 by the WPA, and it's a log cabin. And we're awful proud of what we do in Post 105 in Fayette, Georgia. We have a culture of growth. Since I've been a member, we've grown from 81 members to 307 members. And last year, we sent over 50 students to Boys and Girls States. All of us need to encourage growth. We need to capture our histories. We need to tell our stories to our communities. That's why these awareness walks are such a great time. Maybe you need to get some of your history. I know in our post, we have a little information sheet about how our post was built, about our programs. Our communities want to know more about the history of the American Legion and how your post has impacted it. And of course, always ask them to join this great organization. In closing, I have a quote that I have often used. Don't count the days. Make the days count. I challenge each of you today to dedicate yourself to the principles of duty, honor, country. Make each and every day count. And I know Jim Couch is over here to my right. I'm going to steal a line from him. Make every day Veterans Day. God bless you for what you do for the American Legion. Thank you for your confidence in me. God bless this great organization. God bless the United States of America. Thank you all very much.